I think this episode of My Super Sweet 16 featured one of the most successful girls from the show's history. And by most successful, I mean most rich. Yeah, it's Natalie's episode. So it's this 15-year-old Natalie. She lives in La Jolla, California, and she's getting ready for her Sweet 16. She recently moved in with her dad because her parents seem to have a pretty messy divorce. Not as messy as Donnie and Elon's, though. She's a self-proclaimed daddy's girl who gets whatever she wants because her dad owns like 5 nightclubs in the area. Honestly, I'm actually pretty fucking jealous. I am thousands of dollars in debt from a master's degree that I can't even use yet. Anyway, so she moved to California from Roswell, New Mexico, where she lived with her mom. No, I don't know shit about Roswell. I just know it's got that, like, Area 51 shit. But she says that everyone there is poor and that it's a really shitty town. Now, that's not my opinion, but I guess pop off Natalie? I don't know. But part of the reason why she gets everything that she wants is because of her new stepmommy, Melissa, who is, like, I don't know, like a few years older than her. But basically everyone from Roswell does not believe that she's actually having like this big super sweet 16. So she's ready to prove them wrong. And she's on a mission to become the most popular girl in school because she's only been there for 2 months. Alright, Natalie. I'm hooked. Despite living in California, they fly to Vegas to go get her dress. Hey, this guy's Jewish. You think that we're related? Anyway, so after a few stores, she finally finds her dress. Sheer cutouts for a 15, 16-year-old. It's certainly a choice for her to hand out the But like, what's fucking wrong with the US Postal Service? I'm sorry, are we too good for it now? She explains that like she doesn't really know people still, so she's just handing out invitations to like random people that she kind of recognizes from school. But you know who she doesn't fucking want there? Freshmen. And the freshmen are like, yeah, no, I didn't want to go to that stupid party anyway. Oh, don't fucking lie. Don't you dare lie. Like, there's other people who are like, yeah, I think it would actually be pretty cool to be invited to that party. Natalie's like, sorry, you guys are losers. You're not getting an invite. Girl, I thought we were trying to make friends here. Anyway, so it turns out that Natalie's got her own Damien and Janice back home. They're prepping for the party in the most like hilarious way possible because the show's trying to make them look like poor, but like poor is in quotation marks because like clearly they're not. Because she's like, oh, this dress is a hand-me-down for my sister and it's from Ross. I hope it'll be fine for the party. Trust me, you're gonna look exactly the same like everyone else there, no, I promise. So at the nail salon, Natalie gets a call from someone, and she finds out that a bunch of freshmen are planning to sneak into her party because invitations are getting resold for $50 each. It's not the goddamn Eras tour. But also, like, the invitations getting resold is really funny because it shows that, like, Natalie actually just has no friends. Anyway, so she's super pumped up to eventually kick them out of her party. Which, like, honestly, yeah, I would also be pretty pumped up if I was a 16-year-old kicking freshmen out of my party. So she picks up her Roswell friends from the airport. They're like, oh, I'm hoping that Natalie hasn't changed. I don't know how to break the news to you guys. But then we start playing how many shows can MTV advertise in one MTV episode. Because they get in the Rolls Royce and they're like, whoa, is this Pimp My Ride? And they get to her house and they're like, oh, is this Cribs? You're not Sly, MTV. I see what you're doing. So it's the day of the party and she starts getting her hair done and she hates it. Which, like, does she know that she can tell them that she doesn't like it while they're doing her hair so that they can do something different? Sorry, I know that's like a little bit of like a complex, crazy idea for her. So then her Roswell friend Sarah's like talking about her jewelry. She's like, yeah, I got my jewelry from Target. Like it was $5 on clearance. And then one of her California friends just starts hysterically laughing. But like, who are you to judge when you look like a 45-year-old Real Housewife at 16? But like, Sarah's pissed off at this, but did she know that sharing where she got her jewelry from and how much that she paid for it was also optional? Natalie's like, you know, my California friends just don't get it because they've never been poor like my Roswell friends. This girl is not poor, oh my god. So back at the house, Natalie's getting her makeup done, and her dad comes down in an Elvis costume just to like raise spirits a little bit. I don't know, he thought it'd be funny. She starts getting so pissed off at her dad, she's like, you're embarrassing me and you're ruining my party. The party hasn't even started yet. Ugh, I have such dad envy. But at the club, the guests are starting to arrive. You know, security's questioning them. They're denying people. I mean, I would deny this guy too, probably, if I was security. He looks a little fucked up. Buddy, you need a hospital there? Oh, and the police are there. Shit's getting crazy. So Natalie gets in her Hummer, and then arrives at her party. And everyone's like, oh, that's the girl. We got the invite, but we didn't know who she was. Cool to know her now. This party's got everything. It's got dancing. It's got drinks. It's got fucking oxygen. It's like it's O'Hare air. And Nada's like, yeah, I don't know like 85% of the people here. It turns out she invited some crazy people because fights are breaking out at her party. And this guy just starts scaling the building for whatever reason. I bet he was a freshman who couldn't get in. Speaking of freshmen, Natalie finds out that a bunch of freshmen are trying to sneak into her party. Like, they bought invitations and everything. And what do you know? They get denied. No, they're crying. Natalie don't give a shit. So Natalie's trying to find a mate. So she's doing that thing where she starts dancing with random guys. And whoever's the best dancer is the winner, I guess. But her dad hired security to follow her around all night and pull guys off of her if they start getting a little too, close. Yeah, you gotta leave room for Jesus, guys. Actually, I'm Jewish, so leave room for Moses. Yeah, the shit goes on like the whole night. But it seems like Natalie had a pretty great time at her party. And this girl confirms it. But now everyone knows who Natalie is. And she is the most popular girl in school. Mission accomplished. Oh, and that mission really was accomplished. Because she really ended up being the most popular girl in Henry Cavill's life. Yeah, she's been in a long-term relationship with him. And now she's just very pregnant with this child. Pop off, Natalie. So that was my Super Sweet 16. Sydney out.